guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa, and this is the first video tutorial on how to make the stationery box. I will record a sort of flip through or walk through of what it looks like when we finished, and I'll upload that with some of the more instructions about the SVG files and printable templates. So if you're interested, go and have a look at that video first. So in this video, we're going to start putting together the stationery box. I'm going to refer to this piece of paper here, which is the set of SVG files. The printable templates are exactly the same, have all the same pieces. They just won't be green and pink because you don't want to print them out that way. But the pink pieces on top are the pieces that I'm cutting out of the scrapbook paper that I'm using to mat it, and the pieces in green are what I'm cutting out of my cardstock. I've cut all of this out on my Cricut using this set of SVG files. You can use any cutting machine, electronic cutting machine, that can recognize SVG files, and the only thing you need to know is how to change the dotted lines here, all those internal lines, from cut lines to score lines, and attach them to your project. I've done that video, a video of that process, numerous times, so if I don't do one for this video, for this project, I'll just refer you in the box below to another video. It's a different project, but the principle is exactly the same. So anyway, let's get started. So the paper that I'm using is this Sage Park it's called, yes, by Recollections. It's got some nice foil paper in there, and so I've decided to use that one. And then for my cardstock, I'm using, I don't know where to put this where it won't fall. For my cardstock, I'm using craft cardstock. It is, seems to be a dark patch there, sorry about that. It is, it's about 180 GSM. That is what I usually use, just standard cardstock weight. If you're in Australia, I just buy it from Spotlight. If you're not in Australia, you know, the same cardstock that you use all the time. Let me see if I can find something. Alright, so this is, I bought this in Australia from Spotlight, it's Francheville. This is a craft cardstock at the 176 GSM, which is, you know, 180 GSM. It's about 80 pound cardstock. Okay, so that's what I'm using, nothing special. So I think we might start with the cover. It's always a good place to start. So for the cover, I've got these bits and pieces here, and I just wanted to mention that we are wrapping the cover pieces themselves. So I've actually chosen cardstock that I don't really use. So orange, bright orange and bright green, not really cardstock I use, but I had some. So anyway, we're going to wrap it. So this again is 180 GSM cardstock. You want to be careful about how thick the paper is that you're using. So what I'm saying is we're going to put a lid on top of this, and we don't want the lid to not fit. So I'm thinking about sort of ahead a bit, and this Recollections paper that I'm using, it's really quite weighty. So if I'm going to make my cover and it's going to be covered on both sides by this as paper, then what in effect it's going to be really quite thick on its own. So I want to bear that in mind when I choose what kind of material I'm going to use for my cover. So if your paper, if your cardstock, if your scrapbook paper is not as thick or is not thick, then you might consider using something slightly thicker for this. It's a bit of give and take. Anyway, for the cover, I need two of the cover pieces here. And that's the green pieces. You can't really see it under there, but there are green pieces there. And then one, in this instance, I'm using the large spine, and that's the green piece underneath. So I've cut that one out of that one. So we can put that aside, and I'm going to wrap them in this paper here on the outside. Let's move this one. decided to go with these pretty flowers. So in my prototype, I sort of lapped this one over this one, and I did the same on the inside. And what I felt was I had this really thick seam. So this time I'd like to join them together just like that, rather than lapping them over. So I'm thinking some kind of tape would be the go. Let's see. I thought I was organised, sorry. It's been a while since I've done a video, and so I always forget something and I can't find what I was looking for. Maybe some masking tape would do the trick. 1 minute. Alright, I found this tape that I was looking for. I actually couldn't find the roll that I've been using, so I started another one. But this is micro pour tape by 3M, and I buy it from the pharmacy. So I think it's for bandages or something like that. But anyway, it's quite papery and it's nice and thin, so I like that. The first thing I'm going to do is turn this around and try and join this together. Famous last words. I might have to just use a bit at a time and try and stick it down. Probably put some kind of decoration over here, because this is likely to be right in the middle of my spine, and I'm okay with that. But if I'm going to do that, then I do have to bear in mind that it can't be some kind of bulky embellishment that goes over the top, because it might deter from being able to put the lid on, as I was saying before. Okay, I think that's enough, because our two colours and our spine are like this. So then I'm just going to leave myself a little bit of a border. Now, where is my ruler gone? I am so sorry. You can tell that I haven't done a video in a while because I've forgotten everything. Okay, ruler. Just have a sip of my coffee. Delicious. Okay, so I'm just going to leave myself an inch down the bottom here, and my ruler is an inch wide, so that's handy. And I'm going to center my spine over the top of this, and then I'm going to put I'm going to leave a little gap. I'm just going to eyeball it like so. Where does this go? Like that. I might draw around it a bit. Maybe that will remind me of roughly where it was. You never know. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one up here. And, okay, oh, down the sides probably as well. I cut my nails off, and now I can't pick anything up. Okay, so, and I also cut out all the pieces of this project weeks ago, and then I got completely sidetracked by work. Always a bit of a downer, isn't it, when you have to go to work? And then I was teaching so I work in an art centre. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before. I work in an art centre, and I'm a coordinator. I put together programs, classes and things like that for art. So we run a pottery studio. We have a very successful pottery studio. We also do painting and all sorts of different things, and we run a school holidays program, and I always have problems finding tutors to work in the school holidays, because they are teaching classes during the school term, and then when I ask them if they want to work on the holidays, they they go very quiet and don't answer my emails because I guess they'd like to take a break as well. So I really struggled to get some tutors for this last school holidays. So I ended up teaching a couple of classes myself, and honestly it took me forever to get organised and do it because well, I do have a background in teaching, but it's been a very long time since I have done any teaching. So anyway, that's a really long story for why I have been absent, because I've been preparing classes to teach kids. Oh, I hope you got all that. Alright, so then I'm going to glue these pieces onto here, and I might just use glue stick, who knows. I think I've got glue stick floating around. No, I thought I had. Seems to have gone missing. Can't see it on my desk. Alright, we're back in a minute with that. Right, I'm back with my glue stick. Sorry about this. I feel like I'm usually much more prepared than I currently appear to be. Anyway, so I'm just going to attach this with my glue stick and hope that that is strong enough for the job. I'm just going to lay that down along this line here. Sticky fingers. And then I'm going to do the same with both of these. So I'll probably just fast forward through this bit so you don't have to watch this, me do this whole thing. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm just going to miter the edges and then wrap the edges around and in, much like you do when you're wrapping a school book or any kind of book really. I just remember it from when I was in school. So I'm just going to do this all the way around, and so you know, we're just going to fold these edges over. This paper is really thick. So I'm just going to do this all the way around and then I will be back. Okay, so I have covered my book cover on the outside. So this is how it's got a very wide spine, but that's because we're doing the large size. So now I'm just going to cover the inside. So what I've done already to save a bit of time was I did exactly the same thing as we did for the outside. So I have stuck together two pieces of scrapbook paper with that micro pour tape, and I am going, and I've already cut it down to size so that it will cover my entire inside book here. So then just with some glue I'm going to attach that. Okay, so I've stuck this inside sheet or sheets of paper down to the inside cover, and then I've just carefully used my bone folder on that crease and just slowly pulling it up, and just, you know, getting that score line in there nice and gently without ripping the paper and without the paper buckling. That's the plan anyway. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to set this aside for now. I'll just set that aside to dry. I love those flowers, they're so pretty. I'm not sure which way up they're supposed to go. Does it matter? Let's hope not. Okay, so now we're going to do the lid for the box. So we're making, in this instance, the large box. So I'm going to cut out these pieces here for the box lid, large size. So let me get all those bits and pieces so we can go through them together. I'll write down a list of everything that I'm using in the description box so you know exactly how many pieces to cut out of everything. So for the box lid top large, I've cut one of these in the cardstock. So that's the green piece underneath, which you can't really see, but I promise you it's there. So I've cut one of those out of the cardstock. The box lid side large, I've cut 2 of those. That's these 2 here. And then the box lid long side, I've cut 2 of those, and that's these 2 pieces here. Okay, and then for each piece, I've cut 2 sets of mats, one for inside and one for outside. So on my outside, I've cut all of these mats, the shiny ones, and then on the inside, I have got these ones. Okay, so we can put this aside. As I say, it'll all be in the description box. So it's pretty easy to put together. We've got this bit in the center, one of each of these on the sides. So what you might notice about these tabs is that one tab is mitered in, it's got a little angle in, and that's the bit that we're going to attach to here. And the same on this side. And this bit here is just straight, there's no mitering on that. And it's the same with these ones here. This one has got a slight mitering, so we're going to put that one towards this one, and the same with this piece here. So I've already done a bit of distressing around my edges, and I've used my distress in gathered twigs. If you want to, you don't have to. And my applicator, which is looking a little bit worse for wear. For construction, I like to use this art glitter glue with this fine point tip, which I can't open now. I lost my little, I've broken it. I've broken it. I've lost my pin that goes in the top, so now I'm just using this piece of wire, and I think I might be in a bit of trouble here. I might have got it stuck in there. Filled up my glue. Right, I'll be back in a second when I've worked this out. Alright, I'm back. Everything is a-okay. So for the lid, where these mitered ones are, I'm going to attach them. Oh, that glue's come out fast. I'm going to attach them this way so that the tabs are on the inside. It's not always the strongest way to attach them, but you know, it makes for a nicer looking box lid. So I'm just going to pop this here. Got quite a bit of glue coming out. I'm going to attach this one on the short sides. Got glue everywhere. Okay, so that's that one. And then we're going to do the same with this one. So we're going to attach it this way so that the tab is on the inside. So a bit of glue. Glue's super runny. I wonder if that's because it's colder. I don't know. It's beginning to cool down here in this part of the world, in the southern hemisphere. I don't think our summer was too hot. I really can tell the difference in the summers from when I was a kid, when they were just, we'd have huge long heat waves. We just don't seem to have those anymore. Not complaining about that. I'm not a big fan of the hot weather. Okay, these ones here we are also going to attach on the long side with the tabs on the inside. So I just bend them over and put them in like this. Then I can more easily see the edge. Make sure that they're nicely lined up along that edge. Like so. So this is going to obviously end up being like a little box. And the reason that I've made it in 4 pieces so that you stick it together like this is, for example, if you're using the set of SVG files, then you can scale this up or down. If you scaled it up, you would not be able to fit this on a 30 by 30 page sheet of cardstock if it was all joined together. So that's why it is in pieces rather than just being, you know, provided as a one piece. Sorry, I have to turn it this way because of the way I look at it, because I'm right-handed. There we go. Stick that down. Okay, so then that is our box. And then when I'm happy with that, I can bring these tabs in on the sides and glue them to this side here. So I'm going to do just one bit at a time. Bring it up and attach it on the inside to this one. I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. Bring that up to the inside. I'm going to do this all the way around until it forms the box. Okay, so now I've just got these tabs on top, which I will put some glue on and fold over and glue down. So the reason I like to put these here is they give the edge of the box some extra strength, and I really think that boxes need that extra strength around the edges, especially because it's the bit that gets used the most. You know, when you're pulling a box lid on and off, you'll often do it by the edges. So it just gives it some extra strength. It also helps it to hold its shape so it doesn't have a wobble. So a lot of STL files that I see for boxes and things, they don't have this on the edge, and I really wish people would do it. But obviously it's my personal preference. I just think it, you know, it gives it more strength, it helps it to stay in shape, and I think it's just, it finishes it off a bit nicer. That's my opinion. So, you know, you might not think the same way, and that's fine. So I'm just going to put these around all the way around. And then once I've done this, I can attach my mats. So I have, as I said before, cut enough mats for the inside and the outside, so it's nice and finished all the way around. Whoops, got a little bit rough there. So I'll do that last one in a minute. But so these are my mats. So this is the box lid long side. So I've cut two of those, one for each side of my box on the inside, and then I've cut two more for my outside, right? So they'll go on the outside, and I've done that for each of the pieces of the box. So in the description box, I will, down below, I'll write how many mats of each thing you need to cut out so that you can remember that. So I'll just finish gluing this one down and attach my mats, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my lid. I have matted it on the inside and also on the outside, and the matting has definitely made it even a bit more firmer. So that one is ready to go, so we can put that one aside. And now we need to start making some of the components that go inside. So let's start with the drawers and the drawer sleeve. I've already made up 3 drawers. We need 4 for this exercise, for this project. So we're making, it's like a matchbox, so we've got the little drawer sleeve and then the drawer that goes in it, okay? So I've already made 3, and we'll make 1 together. And I'll put in the description box how many of each piece to cut so you can make all 4. But for 1, we need to cut out this drawer here. Now, it actually looks a little bit different in this picture, and you will get the updated version that's got this little hole in it, which is making this little bit here so that you can, you know, pop your finger in, the little finger pull. But in this picture it's not in here, but it is in the file. So we've got one of the drawers, and also this is the drawer sleeve here. Okay, for the drawer I've cut out 2 sets of the mats, one for inside and one for outside. Okay, and then for the drawer sleeve, for each drawer I've just cut out one of these side pieces, so this narrow piece here. For each drawer I've cut out one of those mats, but for all 4 drawers we only need one of the bits on top here, this larger mat. We just need one for all 4, so I've cut one of those out, and you'll see what we need those for when we get to the sort of construction component. But for now we're just going to put the drawer and the drawer together, the drawer sleeve together. So the first thing to do, I think, is to so you know, the score lines have all been put in by my Cricut, and then I've just folded them up and inked around some of them. This one here I tend to like to put together straight away so that it doesn't lose its shape. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there and then fold that over. So I wanted to include this little section on it as well, because of, as I was saying, this is the bit where, you know, you really need the strength in a drawer, isn't it? Because you're putting your little finger in there all the time and pulling it out. So I sort of thought double thickness is better. So then, to make the drawer itself, we just need to fold in these 2. I'll move this out the way. We just need to move in these 2 little tabs here, put some glue on those. Now, I'm putting them on the inside of the drawer, because if they were on the outside of the drawer, they might hinder it sliding in and out of its little sleeve. So these I'm putting on the inside of my drawer like this, much like we made the box lid. So I'm just going to pull that up there, and the same on this side. Stick those down, and then the same with these ones. Just going to pop some glue on those. And slide that in and stick those down. Got glue on my fingers. And this one, more glue on my fingers. Okay, and then these are just those little top sections again that I like to include just for the purposes of a little bit of extra strength. So we just put a bit of glue on those and fold them to the inside. And seal those down, and that's your drawer basically. Tiny little guy. We're going to make 4 of them and stack them up. So I was thinking, in these drawers, if you're using it as a stationery box, you know, if you were giving it to somebody perhaps, or making it for yourself, if you made up lots of little cards to put in there, but you didn't put the sentiments on the card, you could put some ready to go sentiments in these little drawers, and then, you know, they could just use whatever sentiment they wanted. Whether it was, you know, happy birthday or best wishes, or, you know what I mean. So that is that one there. So I've got a little tiny bit of my tab poking out there, which I don't love. and that's just because of the way I glued it together, not very accurately. So I'm just going to give it a little trim. I don't know why I keep these scissors on hand. I don't like them. These ones I do. I'm just going to give that a little trim. That's better. And then if I just put a little ink, you would never know. There's my little drawer. So then I've got my mats to go in my drawer. So I'll just stick a couple of those on. I like to use my other glue, which is just a silicone-based glue. I just get in Australia, I just get this big bottle from Spotlight. I like it. It's good. Gives you a little bit of time to get that mat on right, in the right spot. So I'll just put some glue on my little mats, which are already cut out using my Cricut, and I inked around them a little bit as well. So you'll see they fit on there quite nicely. And I've cut mats for inside and outside as well. So this is for my outside bottom. I chose this paper that's sort of non-directional, so it didn't really matter too much which direction I put it. So I think you get the idea. I won't keep going with all the mats, but I will write in the description box how many of each mat you need. Okay, so these are the rest of my mats for this little guy. So we'll just pop them in there, and we'll make the drawer for the drawer sleeve for the drawer. So that is this one here. Okay, so I've cut this one out. I haven't inked it at all because you don't really see too much of it. So all we do is turn these two little guys in here on this bit that sticks out. Actually, I lie, we're going to do these on the outside. Stop right there. Okay, so this one, we're going to put the glue on the inside here and glue it on the outside, and the reason is then we don't have anything on the inside to stop our drawer from sliding in and out. So I'm going to put I'm putting the glue on this edge, but then folding them to the outside and up like so. Right, I always forget that bit, but I tell you what, it really makes a big difference to how easy it is to slide the drawer in and out. Okay, so then this one here. And then, oops, it just came undone. I'm being too rough. Let's put a bit more glue on there. Folding that one over there. So then it looks like that. So then we're putting glue on the inside of this tab, but sticking it to the outside of our little sleeve. And fold that over and glue it down on there. And just to make sure that it's in the right place, I tend to use my bone folder and press that tab down from the insides so that it sticks, because otherwise it can be a bit tricky. And I think it should have been over a little bit. I wonder if I can get it to move. Try again. I just want it to sit nice and flush up against this end here, which it was not doing. You won't see any of this, so it's all good. So that it's sitting nice and straight across there, so that it's it'll be the same with all of them, hopefully. I might be being a bit pedantic about nothing. And then a little bit on this tab here. And just gluing that one down. And just flip it over and do the same thing with my back of my bone folder to get it to stick. Get the glue off my table. Okay, and then we just have these little tabs again, which, you know, just finish it off. So just turning those to the outside, putting some glue on the inside of them. And that's, again, just for reinforcing them. A little extra step, but totally worth it in my opinion. Whoops. And then turn that one in. And this one. Oops. Okay, so that's our little drawer done, our little drawer sleeve. So then our drawer will just slide in like that. So we have 4 of those. So we might put these aside for the moment and we'll do all of the sticking it together in one go. So these little mats here, we'll come back to those and I'll put that to the side, and then we'll start building these front 2 boxes here. So we've got front box A and front box B. Right, so that's these 2 here. So I've got the mats that I've cut out for each of those boxes, and I've cut out 2 sets again, one for the inside. No, I haven't, I lied. I've cut out 1 full set for the inside, and then for the outside I've just cut this mat here and this mat here. So because the only bit you'll see is the front facing section, right? So that's my mats and these are my pieces. So front box A is the bigger one and front box B is the smaller one, and they go together exactly the same way. So I will just do one with you. So to make this one, does it matter? I don't suppose it really matters. We'll turn these in, I think. We're matting it so you won't see them, but I think I'll turn them in. And then we are going to bring this side up here and this side up here. So it looks like this. I don't know if that's straight. I'm so pedantic. It takes me forever to make anything, you know. Okay, and then these 2 tabs here, we're going to fold those in, put glue on those, and glue those on the inside too. Might just put a little bit of... You can see we're just making lots of little boxes. Just, you know, boxes for drawers, boxes to go in here. So we're going to put glue on these 2 on the insides. That one and that, whoops, and that one. And just close those up. Oops, this one needed to be on the inside. There we go. Alright, and then just make sure that it's stuck down. It's stuck down. Okay, and then these are those little tabs again that we're going to put glue on, fold them to the inside. So I will go ahead and do that, and then we have also got the mats, so I will put the mats on for both of these to save you a bit of time. But I've cut one full set to go on the inside, so these are the two inside little bits here. These are the two little bits for there, and this is for the bottom, right? And then I've just cut one for this side here to go on the front like that, because that's all you'll see. Everything else is covered up, so we don't need to mat it. All right, so I'm going to do that for this one, front box A, and exactly the same for front box B, and then I'll be back. Okay, I am back, and I have made the front box A and the front box B, and I have matted them all completely on the inside, but only on the front facing on the outside. And so they're ready to go. I think we might leave this video here because it's getting a bit long, but I thought I would just show you that we have these mats sitting off to the side. So I'm actually matting just one side of these drawers because you'll only see one side. In fact, you could only mat, you know, you could cut your mats in half and just mat the front half of the, because you're only going to see that bit forward, but just for the sake of ease, I have made mats that are the full length in case you ever want to make something else with this project and those mats are ready. So that's those there, and then we just have left this mat here, and this is just going to go on top of one of these like so. So I think I might do it that way. And they are all going to be stacked on top of each other, so it's only the top one that needs a mat. So this is the largest mat that comes on the drawer sleeve, but of course, as I say, it's all in the description box for you. Ooh, that didn't sound positive, something just happened out there. Okay, so that's my 4 drawers. They're matted on one side and only one's on the top. And then there's all my little drawers there. So we've made those today. We've also made the front boxes. And we've also done the cover and the box lid. So that will sit on here like so. And we just need to finish doing what goes in here. So I'll leave this video here and we'll do a part B where we make the rest of the things that go in here and then put it all together. So I hope you stick around for the second part. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Bye.